Hi, I'm Rachelle Reigard, and I'm the president of Grade A Construction.
I'm Tristen with Grade A Construction. I'm the superintendent for the grading division.
Well, I did not originally start in this industry. I took many turns before getting to the construction industry. I was actually went to college to be a teacher, and I started as a math teacher, taught for 11 years in a couple of different high schools, and loved my job, loved what I was doing, but had an opportunity to try something new and do some different things. And I always had a love for administration. I actually got my master's to be a principal, but never felt that fit of doing that in the high school. So wanted to use that somewhere else, and this opportunity came up to partner with some people to work for a construction company, and it was a good fit, it was a good time, and so we partnered together and started Grade A Construction. We started it from scratch in 2013, so we've actually been doing this for 10 years now.
So it's kind of just what I always wanted to do. I wanted to play my part in building America. I've always had love for equipment, from trucking to heavy equipment. It's everything that played a part in it. That's just where my interest was.
A typical day, I am in the office most of the time, and I'm either in the office or networking with people around town. I handle a lot of insurance, banking, accountants, those kind of relationships. I get a lot of the high-level questions, a lot of decisions that nobody else wants to make, those kind of things that kind of the buck stops here, and when the questions get hard, those are the kind of things that I get left to make the decision on.
Typical days, early mornings, checking weather, figuring how weather is going to directly affect our plans for the week, goal for the week. A lot of phone calls, budget meetings, coordination meetings with clients, stuff like that. A lot goes into a day.
Like I said before, I didn't choose this path necessarily. I feel like it evolved, and that's one thing I would tell high school students. I think that you don't always know right now where your path will lead eventually, but I think it's really important to just start with what you're passionate about right now and know that it will lead you to somewhere. I knew all along that I enjoyed being in a leadership position of some sort, but I went where I was comfortable with. I liked math. I liked, the idea of being a teacher, and so I started there, and I feel like it just kind of evolved into something else. And so a lot of careers, I feel like even today, you don't necessarily start at that end point of, I have this massive dream of being this, and I'm just gonna get out of college or get out of high school and be that. It may take some steps before you get there, or you may have to start here and then evolve into something else, but it will, if you go with your passion or go with something that you really enjoy doing, I feel like it will lead you to what you should be doing.
Early influences, directly my dad. So my dad's been in the industry for 30 years. So, going to work with him as a kid and seeing equipment moving, projects being built, that's where most of my interest came from.
So it involves a lot of computer, just responding to emails, a lot of networking with people, building relationships around both our right here in Mount Juliet and with accountants and banking relationships, lawyers, insurance agents, all those kind of people that we have to have around us to help us and support us and give us advice. But keeping those relationships strong are very important. But also one of my strong things that I put into my job is ministering to my employees as well. And so I make sure I plan time to, show my employees in some ways that I care about them, whether it's sending emails, sending birthday cards, all those kind of things. So try to do something to always make sure that we're kind of a tight-knit community, and that all the employees know that we're a company that cares about them. So that's part of it too.
What my job entails. Most of it is just coordination on the job site, hands-on coordination. Right tools for the job, right people for the job, right equipment, and in the right sequence. So that's what most of it is.
Ooh, there's lots of challenges. Weather is definitely a factor in construction, especially the kind of construction that we do, because we deal with a lot of dirt, and so weather affects that a lot. It's also, with being a subcontractor most of the time, we are at the mercy of a lot of vendors and a lot of general contractors, and so that can be a factor in a lot of things. But we have learned a lot of lessons through the years, and we have learned how to be the best company that we can be, and be the best subcontractor, and we're growing. In the 10 years that we've been in business, we've learned a lot of lessons and learned from each of those mistakes and along the road, and we're better because of it. So
currently it's more like materials. We order materials now, they're 6, 7, 8, 10 months out. So that's where, looking forward thinking, planning comes, that's where most of that is a big help.
When I first started, I was definitely lacking a lot of confidence in who I was and my position and leadership. Part of it being a female in construction industry, and I was a little more nervous about what the guys thought of me and who I was, and after 10 years now, I would say there's no need to think that or to be nervous about that. You just, whether you're a female in a male-dominated industry, or whether you're walking in somewhere you don't have a degree but you feel like everybody else has a degree, it doesn't matter. If you're in a position and you've gotten somewhere, you just walk in the room like you own the room, and you just be who you're supposed to be, because you're there where everybody else is, and you just show them. You just fake it till you make it. You smile and you shake their hand with confidence, and and you just prove who you are. And if I feel like I wasted a lot of time having to learn that, and I wish I would have 10 years ago just said, just do it. Just go out there with confidence and be it from the start. So
that's when I started. I had a little bit of knowledge just from going to work with my dad sometimes, but nothing very far in depth. So paying attention to detail and learning from the guys that have been doing it forever, because eventually I'm going to be that guy that someone else is looking up to. So just having the most amount of knowledge to hand down to other people. This
industry is super easy to get into because we are always looking for people. We have an apprenticeship program that takes people right out of high school. If you are willing to work in the field, that's who the apprenticeship program is actually designed for, to take students out of high school and directly into the field. And that can take on many different aspects. It could be operators, it could be laborers, but we have a survey team that deals more with the technical aspect of things. We also have project management team that works mainly in the office, but then we also have a whole office side. I have about 20 people that work in the office and administration, those type of things, if you're more interested in that side of it. So, there's all kinds of avenues. So for guys, super easy to just say, hey, I want a job, I want to get out there in the field. That seems super easy. For women, it may not feel as easy to get a job, but the jobs are just as available for women as they are. And in fact, there's lots of groups available now in the industry that make it even easier for women. There's, associations for women in construction. There's all kinds of things that make it so much easier for women to get involved and be a part. But definitely the doors are open in the construction industry for anyone who wants to join us.
Well, it's actually, like we have the internship, so we take students, fresh out of high school, and we train them and to be what they need to be in the industry.